Hey Donnie, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please do not forget to hit that subscribe red button and click that notification bell icon as well so you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. Please do not forget to do that. Thank you. And today, I am going to share with you my experience being a virtual assistant, specifically how I started. So one of the most common questions I've been getting from people whenever they get to learn that I am a virtual assistant is, how did you start? Or where did you apply? So I am going to share with you my journey being a virtual assistant. So stay with me until the end of the video and I'll see you around. Okay, let me start by sharing with you that I am a graduate of Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. I graduated in Bicol University College of Engineering way back 2005. The reason why I'm sharing that with you is to answer that question. I remember receiving this question too, kasi they asked me if you need to be a graduate of like an English related course or a communication course, something like that, for you to be able to work as a virtual assistant. So the answer to that is no. So it's not necessary. Just look at me. I'm a graduate of civil engineering and I end up being a virtual assistant. So don't worry if you're not a graduate of an English related or communication related course at all. If you want to be a virtual assistant, you can be a virtual assistant. You just need to find out what you can do. You need to evaluate and assess yourself as to what skills you possess and what you can offer. So don't worry about the course. Alright, so right after I graduated college, and by the way, it's 2005. All these years I thought was 2004. So anyway, it was 2005. So right after I graduated college, in 2005, I signed up to this call center training. It's what do you call this? Global Call Center Competency Training Program. So this is the certificate I got. So I completed it April 2005. So after I took that training, we were absorbed, and so the first job I had was being an email representative. So it was, I think I only worked for like 3 months or 4, I don't really remember, but it was being an email representative. So what we had to learn different parts of cars, the make, the brand, the year, model, and all that stuff. So we needed to respond to questions and so you can just imagine someone asks to buy a certain car part, and so you need to know the make, the model, and the year of that car, and assist with if that particular product or part is available. So a typical email support job. So that was like I said, 3 to 4 months. Then one day, I only went to this mall. So I think after work we went to this mall, and there were people giving out flyers. So if I know, during that time, during that year, call center was, it was a boom business, especially in Manila. So everyone wanted to become a call center agent. So everyone in the province would go to Manila just to apply for a call center agent job. So going back, one day when we went to this mall, there were people giving out flyers. And when I read the content of the flyer, it was for a call center job. And it's only in our city, in Legazpi City. So I got really excited to know that, because okay, there's a chance for me to work as a call center agent, and I don't need to go to Manila to work as a call center agent, because I will just be working here in our small city, in our province. So I got excited. So my workmates, we applied. So it was in one of the fast food, I think. in the city, that they conducted the initial interview there. So there were a lot of people who went and took the chance for, you know, for that job role. And luckily, I think we were only 2 or 3 who got, yeah, we passed the initial interview, and we were scheduled for a final interview. And the venue was in a specific address, and it's a residential address. So I didn't actually mind that, because, you know, my mindset during that time was get a job. So it didn't really matter where I go to interview. So when I went through that final interview, it was in a small house, and so anyway, fast forward, luckily I got that job. But in that final interview, it was explained to me that it wasn't actually for a call center agent post or job. It was actually for a virtual assistant job. So I have zero knowledge, no idea what a virtual assistant was during the time or what it does. All I knew was being a call center, because if you're a call center agent, you will just receive calls, so you just have to be good at speaking in English and, you know, communicating and all that stuff. So that's all I knew during the time. So and they briefly explained to me why they did not put that description for that particular specific job post for a virtual assistant job in the flyer. So they intended to really put in there a right call center agent job, and not for a VA job or a virtual assistant job. Their reason was that it was easier for people to understand what the job will be. If they put it as a call center agent, there will be not a lot of questions anymore, which I realize is true, because if they did put like virtual assistant job post in that flyer, nobody will really know what a virtual assistant was during the time, and I think there's a really little chance that they'll get applicants being interested to apply for the job post. So it made sense. So I understood that they did not put the VA job post there in the flyer for people to understand better that it's for a call center job post. So they just explained it in that final interview, and I guess they just have to wait if that applicant or whoever they selected will agree to just working as a virtual assistant, and which I did. So that's the start of my VA journey. So we were only like 4 in the team during that time when I started being a virtual assistant, and now I am starting to realize that I was actually a general virtual assistant during that time. Why? Because that was the time when I handled a lot of different tasks from different clients. So that is why I categorize it as a general virtual assistant now. But during that time, it was just a plain virtual assistant. Because I didn't know that there will be like categories or different types of virtual assistants. But it just, I guess it got developed, or it got, since tasks or skills were getting defined already as a virtual assistant, or when you start as a general virtual assistant, you will get to know what skills what your strongest skills are, or what you're really good at. So that's when you get to really categorize as to which type of virtual assistant you can be. So anyway, going back, I started as a general virtual assistant. So that means I handle different types of clients. So we had this website before, and that's where clients signed up to for a certain task to be done. So when there were inquiring clients, so I needed to explain what a virtual assistant does and what can be what can be done. And by the way, I had sort of like a TL or a supervisor at the time, and he was the one who really guided me. Since nga, I was new and I didn't know, I wasn't really techie that time, and he was the one who was really techie. You know, when it comes to having to install softwares or learning, he was kind of like the first one who will study or review the customers or the client's instructions, and then he will pass it on to me. So it kind of like the soft training for me already. And then as time went by, I just did it on my own. So when he realized I'm already learning, and then I can do things on my own or understand or carry out things on my own already. So that's the time that he let me just handle those inquiries all by myself. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that person. Actually, he passed away already a few years ago. So I will not ever forget him. I learned a lot, so much from him. So anyway, yeah, so that's it. So the very first task I did was very funny, because I remember the second task was funny. The first one was simple. I remember I just needed to like create a letterhead, something like that. A document, and I just need to create a letterhead, and I submitted it back to the client, and job's done. That's it. So the second task was funny because it was a task wherein I needed to answer the phone. So I had no experience yet as to how to answer, or even I haven't spoken to a foreign client yet. So I have no idea how they will sound like, or I had no idea about how their accent will be over the phone. Because I do remember during my training when I had the call center training, there were like foreigners who went to the training, and they were introduced to us, so we can be acquainted, or we can familiarize ourselves with their culture. So I kind of had that. Of course, I also watch foreign movies. I love watching movies, so I know how they speak. But just the actual thing wherein you need to speak with someone over the phone. So I did not understand a word at all from that person over the phone. So that was just a terrible experience. I had to pass the phone to my colleague at the time, and she was the one who carried out that task, because I couldn't understand a thing from him over the phone. So I guess maybe because of the accent. So anyway, that was terrible. Second task, which failed. So anyway, after that, the task just added up different other tasks. I needed to do transcription. That's one area wherein I realized I was good at. I'm actually a fast, I type fast. I type like 60 to 67, if I remember my word per minute speed. 60 to 67 word per minute. So that's my typing speed. And so that task was like easy peasy for me whenever I received transcription tasks, or I needed to transcribe. And so this TL of mine before, he introduced me, or he showed me how to use, or not actually to use, he showed me how to install a transcriber tool during that time. So I'm not sure if it still exists nowadays, but yeah, that kind of helped me do my transcriptions or my transcribing tasks before. So aside from transcription, I also did data entry. So as simple as a simple instruction from the client was research or get the contact information from this type of websites and put them in a Google Sheet or in a document. So during that time, the Google document already existed. So as you know, now it's now called Google Drive. So during my time before, it was Google Documents. So whenever there were tasks like data entry, it's a must that you know how to use the Google Documents. Specifically the Google Word document, especially the Google worksheets or the spreadsheets, and the PowerPoint for your presentation or reporting needs. So yeah, I was also asked to research and collect contact information and put them in a spreadsheet. So it's as simple as getting the email address and then copy paste, and yeah, you just need to make sure, because I'm not sure if it's just me, but I just don't put the information there. I have this habit that I wanted to make it visually pleasing. So I'm pretty OC sometimes with that. So I just don't transfer information. I will make sure that the report that I send to the client is pleasing to the eyes. It's easy to read, something like that. Because you know, if you just copy and paste, some format may be copied, and you know the formatting in the Excel sheet will not look okay. So you also need to make sure that it's clean and yeah, it's presentable when you submit your result to your client. So that's one of the tasks I did when I had a cat. Anyway, so other than that, I also did staffing or scheduling. I remember I had this client wherein my role during that time was to find or to schedule workers to a specific entertainers. I remember, yeah, entertainers. Say for example, there are parties or events and I need to book, or they're looking for like a balloon twister. So we have this pool of talents already available. So I will reach out to whoever will be available to be in that event. So the booking stuff. So I just arrange the schedule and then arrange the booking and call and make sure the talent or the entertainment is already there. So yeah, it needed for me to do calls and send emails and update a system, a specific system that the client was using before. So that's another task I did. What else? I also did research. I also did technical writing. So if you notice, I don't have perfect English. I have terrible prepositions. That is one of the common mistakes that I know that I do. Prepositions in, at, on, from, under, bottom, something like that. So I have very poor preposition, something. So, but everything can be learned. So I did writing tasks before. I used to be a writer before, and well, my clients were happy with the results I submitted to them, at least so far. So maybe it wasn't that bad at all. So yeah, so don't worry if you don't have perfect English or if you don't have perfect writing skills, especially nowadays. Especially now that, you know, the online correction grammar tools is just a click away in Google, and there is Grammarly that you can easily install in your computer, so you don't have to worry about having a lot of grammar mistakes in your sentences. So it's so easy nowadays to work as a VA. But yeah, during that time, like I said, I did some writing tasks too. What else? I also did assignments for students. So there were students who needs help with like a math or a math assignment, or they needed they needed me to write an essay, something like that. So I carried out that thing too. What else? I also remember being a personal assistant to one client. So there was so the arrangement that time was it can be a retainer or an hourly. There were packages that a client can sign up to. So during that time, I can have like 4 different clients that I receive tasks from, and not all of them were full-time. So some were like they signed up only for like 10 hours. So I just needed to consume the 10 hours worth of tasks. And there were clients that I did work full-time. So that's where I kind of was that's when I realized, or that's when I got to like realize what my strongest skills were. And that's when I realized that I think I'm going to be good at customer service. So yeah, so I was a customer service representative for that one client, and he was my longest client. I think I spent like 2 hours for not 2 hours, sorry, 2 years for him. So that's when I was able to really hone my customer service skills, my management skills, and so that's when I started to like see myself more doing customer service related tasks. So anyway, so aside from those tasks I mentioned, I know for sure, I know in myself there are others, there are more tasks that I did, but those are just the ones that I can remember as I'm shooting this video. So I worked for that company for 4 years. By the way, I worked for that company in an office, I think maybe for 4 months. I'm not really sure. But after like a few months, we were already set up to work at home. So that's when I started to really literally work at home. But my computer, the generator I used before, they were all supplied by the company I worked for before. So that's when I started working at home. So I needed to, we just worked in a physical office. I'm not really sure, maybe 6 months or 7 months or less. I can't remember. But yeah, after a few months, we were set up to work at home already. So like I said, I worked for them for 4 years. So those first 4 years that I spent working for that first company, that was the time that I was a general virtual assistant. So the reason why I call it a general virtual assistant is because, well, literally, like generally, I did everything that different clients asked for me to do. So I needed to do various tasks, and the common skill that you must have, or that will be needed if you are a general virtual assistant, most common skill is really administrative skill. So that's when you need to make phone calls, write emails, do research, do data entries, what else? Being a personal assistant. So those type of tasks generally are being done by a general virtual assistant, or you can also call it an administrative virtual assistant, because it's basically all admin tasks. So that's when that's my experience of being a general or administrative virtual assistant. So after I worked in that company, so I started to work directly to clients, because during those 4 years, I was an employee to that company. So the clients pay the company, and the company paid me. So when I resigned, I started to work directly to clients. So that's when I started earning and being paid in dollars already. And well, just want to share with you that I did mention earlier that I had this one long one long-term client. I worked for that company when that first company so that client was actually theirs. So what happened was when I had to stop working for that client because I was resigning, the client did not agree to it. So he wasn't happy that I won't be working for him anymore. So what happened was, but I didn't wanna work for him because he still reached out to me after I resigned. Yeah, so I didn't want to have any trouble because I signed up a contract to that company that I worked for, and in that contract I will not work for their clients when I resign. So there was this like grace period that I must not work directly to their clients. So I respected that. So, but like I said, when that client of mine didn't agree and wasn't happy that I won't be working for him anymore, there was an arrangement that happened between my boss, the owner of that company I worked for, and that client of theirs. So well, to cut the story short, I was able to work directly to that client. I think, yeah, I didn't want to go into details, but it was arranged in good terms. So between my boss in that company I worked for, in that client, so it was arranged in good terms so that I can work directly to that client already. So before I started working for that same client, I worked for that first company before. I already had I was able to get 2 clients already working. I worked for 2 clients already, and I gave those up. I gave those 2 clients and I focused working on that same client for 8 more years, if I remember right. So that's when like I said, it's when I really got more involved in customer service and customer service management and operations. He trained me he basically trained me how to be a customer service, and he also showed me how to carry out operations. So I also learned about QA, quality assurance, and about chargeback resolutions from him as well. So that's when I started really focusing in customer service management. So yeah, that's my experience with him, and I spent a long years for that client. And there came a point wherein, when you're a virtual assistant, you will get burned out. You really will get burnt out. So I came into that point, and everything deteriorated one thing or another, and I had to go. I had to leave that client of mine. So I tried teaching for a year, and yes, I am also a licensed secondary mathematics teacher. So I taught for a year in the Department of Education. So it was only 1 school year. I think online work is really in my blood. So I was lucky because I didn't had a hard time finding another client. So when I decided that I wanted to go back online, I had this colleague that I worked with in that client. With that client I worked for 8 years, and he referred me to the company that he was working for during the time. So luckily I got a job, an online job, and I left teaching. So it was a customer service management job post, and so I worked for them for 3 years. So after that, now I have another full-time client, and again it's for customer service management. I'm also doing HR, and I'm also a personal assistant to the owner of the company. And yeah, I'm loving it. So up until now, I'm still working for that company, and the company is in Australia. So that's it. Basically, that's my VA journey. I hope I can get more into details, but it's going to be one long video. So well, I hope that somehow you've learned from this video, and please do leave your comments or leave your questions in the comment section below. I would love to hear your questions, or I would love to hear your thoughts. If you need help in anything, just let me know. Comment down below. And again, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell icon as well, so that you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. Because I will be having more, I promise. So please do subscribe and hit that notification bell icon. And I also be showing my socials, so add me up, and yeah, let's get in touch. So there you have it. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I hope I did not bore you. So there goes my VA story. I hope I have at least gave a tip or two, or at least you've learned something from this video. Again, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon as well, so you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. And don't forget to write down your comments below. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions for my next video. I'd love to hear them. So that's it. Thank you so much, and you all have a good day. Bye bye.